Chiefs Mandatory Minicamp is underway, and we got some news and notes from day one of practice. Minicamp, of course, wraps up on Thursday. I'm Harrison Graham. Welcome into the Chiefs Report. Here's what we got coming up on today's show. We got practice takeaways first and foremost. We'll get to some injury updates, players who were absent, players who were there but didn't practice, players who returned after skipping OTAs. We got that all covered. And then Travis Kelce spoke to the media as well. A couple of interesting quotes from him to get to. Before we do all that, share this video on the Chiefs Report. All you got to do is click the share icon. Then you select X or Twitter. For most devices, it should be X by now. And then click post, and that helps spread awareness of this video. We appreciate it. Help us grow by sharing the video. All right, couple of practice takeaways I want to get to. Rashee Rice dominating. Very good day one of mandatory minicamp. This note from Pete Sweeney saying, offensive player of the day was Rashee Rice. He won the day, 3 touchdowns and 11 on 11s there, 5 catches overall. Had another touchdown in 7 on 7s. Sweeney adds the note that any off-the-field stuff has clearly not impacted anything on the field based on this look. And, again, we've said it all. I mean, Rashee Rice has all the talent, has the ability. If he could keep his head on straight, he can be Patrick Mahomes' #1 wide receiver for the foreseeable future. Number 2, the deep ball remains an emphasis. That was a big storyline coming out of earlier in the spring with OTAs and whatnot. Mahomes talked about it, Andy Reid. Last couple of years, a lot of teams have played too deep. Plus, since Tyreek Hill, they haven't had that guy that can take the top off the defense. Well, now they have a couple of those guys. Marquise Brown, Xavier Worthy. They're continuing to take those shots at practice. A couple of near misses today to Marquise Brown. Just didn't quite connect, but keep taking those shots. That's going to be a big part of this offense moving forward. If they can get the deep ball reinvigorated this year, I don't know how you slow this team down. Who do you think is going to be the better deep threat in 2024? Type MB for Marquise Brown, XW for Xavier Worthy. You got 2 speed demons. Both could take the top off. Bryan Cook, he stood out like Rashee Rice was the offensive player of the day. Bryan Cook, the defensive player of the day as well. Had an interception, had another breakup as well. So good to see that. And he's a player, entering the 3rd year of his career, that's kind of an interesting one. Travis Kelce said something about Cook, saying he's an absolute stud of a professional and a football player. You can see he's getting better every single snap, every single day. It's because of his mindset and how he approaches life. Man, I just love that dude. And again, I mean, he's going to play a big role on this football team, especially with Jamari Connor kind of moving strictly to that nickel spot. Cook is expected to be that kind of deep safety. So hopefully he can continue to get his hand on some footballs and make some plays. I think they're banking on this kid pretty heavily, I would say, to be a playmaker in the back end next to Justin Reid and obviously with those other corners as well. All right, let's get to some injury notes. 3 players not at practice. Harrison Butker, it was labeled as illness. We'll see what the rest of the week looks like. Obviously, BJ Thompson just got out of the hospital. Great to see him recovering from that medical incident. Unclear, obviously, what his timetable is. We're just glad that he's home. Joe Thuney dealing with the pec injury. He was not there. 3 players that were there but did not practice due to injuries. Derek Nottie, not sure what he's dealing with, but so I put that TBD. Charles Omenihu still recovering from that torn ACL, but he's in the building rehabbing. And then Worthy still not practicing with that hamstring from a few weeks ago. So I think at this point it's pretty clear it's at least some level of a strain that they are not willing to push this time of year. Speaking of Xavier Worthy, pick up his jersey today at chatsports.com/Worthy. Plenty of them available to pre-order. That link is in the comments and in the description of this video. It's chatsports.com/Worthy. 3 players that were limited at practice, Isaiah Pacheco and Leo Chenal. No injury specifications there, but they were limited today. Could just be a ramp-up situation. Who knows? Jalen Watson recovering from an offseason surgery. He was limited as well. And then these 4 players present full go after skipping OTAs. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Kadarius Toney. Hey, Kadarius showed up. Chris Jones and Isaiah Buggs. So they were all back and practicing. So that is a good sign. Subscribe to the channel as the Chiefs are making their quest for a 3-peat. We will continue to keep you guys informed and entertained every step of the way. News, rumors, anything else that pops up, updates from minicamp, we got you guys covered. And, of course, next month, once training camp gets here and on into the preseason. All right, Travis Kelce spoke to reporters at the end of the day on Monday and was asked about his playing future. You know, people are speculating, you're dating the most famous person in the world. What else do you have to prove? How long are you going to play? Well, doesn't really sound like he's going anywhere. Here's what he had to say. He said, I can't put a time frame on it. Still love coming into work every single day. I'm still a little kid when I come into this building. I know I'm 34 years old, about to be 35, but I have a love to do this right here. Middle of the heat in June. I still love doing this. I'm going to do this until the wheels fall off. I don't think he's quite in that year-to-year stage of his career just yet. Like, certain players in the league, they reach a point where, like, they're just signing a bunch of one-year deals, right? And it's like they could retire at any moment. I don't think he's at that stage. I still think he's got, at minimum, 2 years, but potentially up to 5. Like, it would not shock me if he played another half-decade. And you're talking about one of the most decorated tight ends in NFL history, one of the greatest Chiefs in the history of this franchise. I mean, even last year in a down year when he was fighting a knee issue, he still, if they didn't rest him week 18, would have had his 8th straight 1,000-yard season, in which no other tight end has ever had more than 3 straight. He's got the record with 7 straight. So he's still very, very productive. He's not probably 100% top of the peak of his powers, but I'd say he's 90% of peak Travis Kelce. He's still, for my money, at least the top receiving tight end in the NFL. Now, I think the Chiefs have made a concerted effort this offseason to bolster that room. Still have Noah Gray. You draft Jared Wiley. You want to keep Kelce fresh and, limit some of his snaps there to extend his career. But he is still very, very good. He also was asked about chasing that 3 pick, and he said, I think everybody is motivated to keep that same mentality that we had last year. We didn't go back-to-back by always talking back-to-back. We got there by trying to figure out the best way to get better from last week. That mentality is key. You can't get too far down the road. And look, he's still chasing greatness. He understands, though, you don't just show up in September and go win a Super Bowl. It's about attacking the day at hand. I mean, look, Travis Kelce, with what he's accomplished, if he skipped the whole offseason, didn't show up till training camp, no one would bat an eye. But he's there in OTAs. He's there in minicamp because he's a tone setter for this franchise. Mahomes, Chris Jones, I know Jones missed some OTAs, but these guys are who they are because of the work they put into it. So for all the young guys on this team, get around Travis Kelce, get around Mahomes. These guys are winning year in and year out, and they're still chasing the next season ahead because that's what the great ones do. Show Travis Kelce some love. Get the 87s going down in the comment section below. He might be the GOAT when it comes to tight ends, and he's still going very, very strong. All right, that's going to do it. We'll continue to keep you updated throughout minicamp this week. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. So go ahead and subscribe. We'll see you soon.